Some thoughts about this season of Doctor Who and some other things in a second. Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd, and we have seen the holiday special of Doctor Who, Revelation of the Daleks, and it was good to see Doctor Who back, and it starts us on speculation of some things that are going to happen. And a new companion by the name of John Bishop is, actually the actor is John Bishop, the character's name is going to be Dan, and in some places in a post-credit sequence, he is shown in front of sitting with a soothsayer who's looking at the crystal ball and saying, you're going to have great adventure in your future. So just a little tease to John Bishop, who will be Dan. We don't know much about the character. We know about the actor that will be playing that character, who is a popular stand-up comedian in Britain and is a friend, or at least an acquaintance, of Bradley Walsh, who says that he probably will have some little quips, not exactly like Graham does, but certainly he'll add some lightness to the episodes, most likely. That's about as much as we know about him. What we know about the upcoming season is that we're going to see the Weeping Angels again. We have already decided that the historical stories that Doctor Who has done have not been that popular. And while they've been well done and follow history pretty closely, most of what we know of Doctor Who during all of the years has been a fantasy show where they're up against nemeses like the Daleks and the Cybermen and the Silence and all of the others. And in this case, they're going to have a confrontation with the Weeping Angels once again. This was introduced during David Tennant's time, used quite a few times during Matt Smith's time, at least once during Capaldi, and now we'll have them here as well. You may have heard that this will be the last series of Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor. This has not been confirmed by the BBC, but first came out, I believe, in the Daily Mail, which, while is kind of a tabloid, I understand, it is not something that is usually wrong when they're doing Doctor Who stories. It's also been picked up in other publications and also in Radio Times. And while the BBC has not confirmed it, they haven't denied it either, and Jodie has not been available for any kind of comment since then. But usually the way the BBC works is when a doctor is leaving, they will announce who the new doctor is going to be. And so we feel like they're probably in search of the new doctor right now, working out how they're going to do a regeneration sequence at the end of this particular series. So it's something to look forward to. We have some thoughts about who might be the replacement. This is all speculation that we picked up elsewhere. The most interesting one is by Whoopi Goldberg, who really wants the part. She, in fact, is kind of applying for the part. I don't know if anybody will consider her, but she would make an interesting doctor. It'd be the only American to ever play the part. Also, Daniel Kaluuya, who was in several things, but also in the Black Panther movie. So that's a possibility there. Richard Ayoade, who I don't know, and one that a lot of people are thinking might be Hamish Patel, who is the first, who would be the first Brit of Indian descent who could play the Doctor. He's currently in EastEnders and fairly popular, and his name has been floated as a possible Doctor. I find all these interesting, and of course, a lot of people, and myself included, would probably go to the actor that played the Ruth Doctor, Jo Martin. She showed herself to have such screen presence, you immediately believe that she was the Doctor. And while they have her kind of pegged as someone who predated William Hartnell, it would not be the first time they've used an actor in one part and put them in another. They did the same thing with Peter Capaldi. They did the same thing with Colin Baker, having them in a part previously. Also, the second Romana was played by the same actress who was the daughter of the character who became the second master. So it was a not a unusual situation where you might take the same actor and put them in a slightly different part. In this case, it would add a little more interest to have the Ruth Doctor as the next Doctor, but even that has been kind of foreshadowed in the 50th anniversary, the Day of the Doctor, where Tom Baker comes in, apparently recognized by Matt Smith, who says, every once in a while, you'll find that an old face will recur. And so that's another way that could happen. I think it bears talking about how Jodie Whittaker did as the Doctor. And my wife and I have been talking about this quite a bit as to what it is that does not quite click with Doctor Who this season. It's not because the Doctor is a woman. We're perfectly willing, as we were when Missy appeared, to accept a traditionally male character in a female role. There didn't seem to be a problem with them. They fit right in. And even the Ruth Doctor seemed to be a very credible Doctor, but somehow Jodie isn't. I recall when we were first talking about there being a woman doctor to succeed Peter Capaldi, that with the idea that Chris Chibnall had done Broadchurch, I was expecting that it would be the other police officer, the one played against David Tennant, would be more likely to make a good portrayal of the Doctor. And they go completely over to Jodie Whittaker, who is a good actor, but I don't know that she has the necessary combination of elements you need to play a part of the Doctor. She plays the Doctor a lot less quirky, with a lot less darkness than either, any of the modern day Doctors have. Ever since Christopher Eccleston have always had kind of this dark, brooding other side to them, and Jodie's Doctor has not seemed to have that. Now, I don't know if it's the fact that she is miscast, if the writing is not good enough for her character, while other characters they've done pretty well with, or it's just a matter of chemistry. But I feel badly about that because I think that she's a good actor, generally speaking. I think that she's trying hard enough. I think she's enthusiastic about the part. It just somehow doesn't quite work. I don't quite believe her as the Doctor. And I hate to say that, but that's kind of where it lines up. So I'm looking forward to who they come up with, be it anybody on this list or anybody else that they should come up with. We need someone who is as energetic as Jodie is, but also with a more alien feel. Someone who has an otherness about that gives this idea that the Doctor is an alien. In fact, I think that's where Colin Baker fell behind back in the day. Was he seemed to be more of a jerk than he did an alien, and it just didn't quite work. And whether that was his acting, which a lot of people say that it wasn't, or the way he was written, that was, in fact, the impression. So I'd like to know what you think about all of this. Let me know what you have to say about what we've seen, what we're going to see, and if you think even the rumors are true that there'll be a new Doctor at the end of the series, which will come about probably in the fall sometime. So put it down in the comments, and while you're there, if you have not yet subscribed or rung the bell, why not do that so you'll know when the next video is coming your way. Thank you for watching, and until next time, don't go far.